The Zolthurian scout ship descended through Earth's atmosphere like a predator claiming its prey. Commander Zefrik watched the primitive planet below with cold satisfaction. Humans were still decades away from meaningful space travel, making them perfect specimens for the Empire's genetic research programs. Target acquired. His subordinate hissed. To juvenile humans, isolated location. No military presence detected. Eleanor and George had been hiking in the Colorado Rockies when the sky split open. The 13-year-old twins barely had time to scream before the tractor beam enveloped them, their bodies lifting helplessly into the alien craft. Their backpacks tumbled to the ground, forgotten. Zefrik examined the terrified children through the containment field. Excellent specimens. The Empire's scientists will be pleased. He inputted coordinates for the nearest research station. 3-star systems away. Inform Central Command we've acquired to healthy humans for study protocol Gamma 7. What the Zolthurians didn't know was that Eleanor and George weren't just any human children. They were the son and daughter of General Rebecca Torres, commander of Earth's United Defense Forces and veteran of the Mars Colony Wars. When Rebecca Torres returned to the empty campsite and found her children's abandoned gear, something ancient and primal awakened inside her. The woman who had earned the nickname the Sledgehammer for her brutal efficiency in combat felt a fury that eclipsed every battle she'd ever fought. She had exactly one advantage. 3 months earlier, UDF intelligence had recovered a crashed alien probe. Her scientists had been reverse engineering its technology in secret, including a prototype tracking system that could detect the unique radiation signatures alien ships left behind. General, we've locked onto the signature, her chief scientist reported, his hands trembling. They're headed for Sector 7G, approximately 47 light-years away. Prepare the Valkyria. Rebecca ordered, her voice cold as steel. The Valkyria was Earth's first experimental faster-than-light vessel, built from salvaged alien technology. It had never been tested beyond the solar system. I don't care if that ship tears itself apart. We launch in 2 hours. The UDF Council tried to stop her. General, this is madness. We can't risk our only FTL-capable ship on a rescue mission. The diplomatic implications. Rebecca's eyes were ice. Those are my children. And if the Galactic Empire thinks they can prey on humanity without consequences, they're about to learn otherwise. Anyone who tries to stop me will be tried for treason. 2 hours later, the Valkyria screamed into the void, pushing far beyond safe operating parameters. Rebecca had handpicked her crew, 20 of the most lethal soldiers humanity had produced, each one a volunteer who understood this might be a one-way mission. Meanwhile, Eleanor and George sat in their cell aboard the Zolthurian research station. The aliens had separated them, running endless tests, treating them like laboratory animals. But the twins were their mother's children. Remember what Mom taught us. Eleanor whispered through the ventilation shaft connecting their cells. Observe everything. Find the patterns. Wait for your moment. George pressed his face against the grate. She's coming for us, isn't she? She's coming, Eleanor confirmed. And God help them when she arrives. The twins began their own mission. Eleanor befriended a junior researcher, exploiting his curiosity about human behavior. George mapped the guard rotations, counting footsteps, timing shift changes. They were 13 years old, terrified and alone, but they were preparing. 3 weeks into their captivity, alarms shrieked through the station. The Valkyria had arrived. Rebecca Torres didn't bother with negotiations. Her ship's primitive but devastating nuclear arsenal spoke first, crippling the station's defenses in the opening salvo. Then she and her team breached the hull in 12 different locations simultaneously. What followed would become legend throughout the Galactic Empire. The Zolthurians had never encountered human military doctrine, never experienced the ruthless efficiency of soldiers fighting for one of their own. Rebecca moved through the station like a force of nature, her tactical implant mapping every corridor, her weapons cutting through alien guards with surgical precision. All teams, converge on the research wing, she commanded. Rules of engagement. Anyone between us and my children is a hostile. The station's commander, Chief Researcher Voktal, made his fatal mistake when he tried to use the twins as hostages. He dragged Eleanor to the command center. A plasma blade pressed against her throat. Surrender or the female dies. he transmitted to the invading humans. Rebecca's response came through every speaker on the station. Her voice was calm, measured, and absolutely terrifying. "You have 5 seconds to release my daughter. If you harm her, I will systematically execute every living thing on this station. Then track down your homeworld and turn it into glass." This is not a negotiation. This is a fact. Eleanor, remembering her training, dropped her weight suddenly. Voktal stumbled. In that instant, Rebecca's sniper put a railgun round through the alien's skull from 3 corridors away. The rescue took 47 minutes from breach to extraction. Rebecca found George locked in a medical bay, sedated but unharmed. Eleanor ran into her mother's arms, tears streaming down her face. "I knew you'd come." Eleanor sobbed. Rebecca held her children close, her armor still smoking from battle. Always, no matter where, no matter when. Always, as the Valkyria limped back toward Earth, carrying not just her children, but dozens of freed human captives, and a treasure trove of alien technology. Rebecca sent one final message to the Zolthurian Empire. "This is General Rebecca Torres of Earth. You took my children. You learned what happens when you threaten a human mother. Consider this your only warning. Humanity is not your laboratory. We are not your specimens. We are not prey. Touch one of ours again, and you'll discover we're the apex predators of this galaxy. We've been fighting each other for 10,000 years. Imagine what we'll do to you." The message spread through the Galactic Empire like wildfire. The Zolthurians filed an official complaint with the Galactic Council, demanding sanctions against the primitive human species. The Council's response was simple: "You abducted children from their homeworld. Consider yourselves fortunate the humans only destroyed 1 research station." Eleanor and George recovered, though nightmares would haunt them for years. But they also carried something else forward, the knowledge that they came from a species that would cross the stars, risk everything, and burn the galaxy to ash before abandoning their own. That was the day humanity announced itself to the cosmos, not as victims or supplicants, but as a force to be reckoned with. And it all started because an empire made one catastrophic mistake. They underestimated a mother's love.